You are listening to Blue Pigment Podcast, a podcast for art. The definition of the word art is expression or the application of human creativity, a skill or imagination. I hope to discover new talent in areas such as music, poetry, to mixed martial arts and everything in between. I want to start with my own profession, Her Majesty's Armed Forces. The military has an abundance of characters, and I want to provide a platform for talented regulars, reservists and veterans. Follow my journey as I show you that there is more to the armed forces than just bullets and bombs. My name is Ash Stafford and this is Blue Pigment Podcast. So welcome to episode 1, Blue Pigment. If you want your talent highlighted and displayed, please look me up. I am your platform. Episode 1, I want to tell you a bit more about myself, and I'm Ash. I'm a current serving paratrooper in the British Army. I have been serving for near enough 18 years. I'm a dad, a dog owner, a husband. I like surfing, any sort of extreme sports, but other than golf, which I've recently taken up. It's not extreme, but it's still good. I've got a German Shepherd. He's a rescue, 3.5-year-old boy, a 1.5-year-old little girl, and I've been married for nearly 8 years. Now, when it comes to talent, I wouldn't say there's anything specific that I'm good at. I'm more of a generalist. I'll try my hand at just about anything. What I have tried my hand at in the past is poetry. So what I've got lined up for you right now is a poem I wrote in 2008 when I was serving in Kajaki, Helmand Province, in Afghanistan. The poem is called Brothers Forged by Fire. Training begins and new families are made, then sent to war, a soldier's trade. Though anxious and frightened, we do not let it show, for the day is approaching and the paras must go. Each day rolled past, we waited just the same, but the fight is now, and for this we all came. The battle grows near, each man feels it inside, and soon we'll be fighting, brother by side. Death is staring at us, we stare back the same. Each weapon now loaded, no longer a game. Check weapons and ammo, leave nothing to fate, for no one wants to be knocking on St. Peter's gate. So there you go, there's Brothers Forged by Fire. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please tell your friends about me. And if you didn't, just tell your friends about me anyway. So the reason I called it Brothers Forged by Fire, that poem was written 13 years ago in 2008 in Kajaki, and it was a male-heavy environment. Had it been, females around, I could have called it Family Forged by Fire, but there wasn't. When you're in an environment where there is quite regularly, traumatic incidences happening, you don't have your family around you to rely on. They're not there to help you. So you start looking to the people that you're with to help you, and they become that family. And in my case, and sometimes in the military sense, they become your brothers. So a couple of observations I want to highlight on the poem is the lines that say, training begins and new families are made. And then a bit later on the poem it says, and soon we'll be fighting brother by side. And that kind of is just the whole kind of gist of the poem itself, is the family bond and the brotherhood connection. The other observation I'm going to make is the part that says, though anxious and frightened, we do not let it show. And then a bit later on it says, death is staring at us, and we stare back the same. Now, that alludes to sort of anxiety and fear, and I just want it to be known that although a lot of people look at the paras and the army in general, that they must be people that have gone through a rough ordeal, gone through P Company, jumped out of planes, they must have abundance of mental resilience, and they must be really mentally robust. Now, sometimes that's not the case, and we do get scared, we do get anxious. However, it's not about if you get anxious or you get scared or not. It's a human reaction to any environment or situation that is traumatic. It's about how you deal with that fear and how you deal with that anxiety. The people that don't have fear aren't the brave ones. The people that conquer fear are the brave ones. A great thing about the army is that it teaches you mental resilience, and it gives you tools that you can use to develop your mental resilience, so that when a situation happens in your life that does create trauma or does affect you, you can bounce back as soon as possible. And those tools are for you to grasp and take hold of and flourish with. Right, I think I've analysed that poem enough now. If you want to go back, listen to it again and analyse it yourself, please feel free. And if you want to leave a comment in the comment section below, that's great. I'd love to hear your feedback, whether it's good or bad. Hopefully good. But yeah, I'm going to move on to the next poem now, and this one is called An Unexpected Invasion. Imagine, if you would, you're in your home, all cosy and warm. You hear out the window what sounds like a storm. You look up, and to your surprise, planes and paratroopers fill the skies. They are aggressive, well-trained warriors. They bring death from above and are motivated couriers. They can push their body past the human limits. They will be upon you in a matter of minutes. Nothing can be done to stop their advance. Fight back, or run whilst you still have the chance. Lucky for you, we have these capabilities in our great British nation. Angels with dirty faces who don't conform to the snowflake generation. What spurs them on is their nation's glory, to pursue the dream of a heroic story. If I were you, I'd get behind them or by their side. They're British paratroopers, they wear it with pride. When you get into your bed at night, remember these men exist, out in the dark to defend you, teeth bared, clenched fists. To the people that say military parachuting is out of date, without these airborne deterrents, our nation could face a different fate. A message to the enemies of Britain, beware, for when we descend, the fight won't be fair. There you go, my second poem I've given you today, An Unexpected Invasion. Now obviously, as I am Parachute Regiment, this whole episode has been quite para-reg heavy. It might be well known that there are other units out in the world, and I do plan on covering every unit if I can. So if you want your unit to be represented, please let me know. With that poem, I'm not going to analyse it. What I would ask is if you want to go back and listen to it again and analyse it yourself. Sometimes I feel that it's best for you, the listener, to come up with your own observations and your own views. So yeah, please feel free to do that and then leave a comment. As this is my first show, I kind of want to convey what the show is actually about. You know, the foundations of the show is about getting people out of their shells, breaking down the sort of stigma that is, you know, you're not allowed to be an individual in the military. You completely are. You can be an individual as much as you want, and as much as you're willing to put yourself out there. And the more people that put themselves out there, the more people that, you know, show their vulnerabilities, the better we are, the better that we can experience our own emotions and our own feelings and convey our own being, you know, who we are as a person, as an individual, as a character. So this has been me, the host of Blue Pigment. I hope you've enjoyed the first show. I have a lot of stuff lined up for you. If you like what you've heard so far, like, share, subscribe, tell everyone. Let's get Blue Pigment, let's get the ball rolling, let's get whatever talent there is out there in the forces onto this show so we can give them a platform and hopefully we'll go on to bigger and better things. Thank you very much for listening. I have really enjoyed this one. I hope you have too. And look forward to the next one where I have a very talented guest coming your way. I will see you all soon. Thanks again. The opinions expressed on this podcast are solely of my own or the guests and do not express the views or opinions of anyone else or Ministry of Defence.